So the average sales tax audit costs a small business about $300,000. I think the exact number is $308,000 according to a Wakefield research report. And when you combine that with the fact that we are seeing sales tax audits on the rise, you really should be doing everything you can to minimize falling into the trap of a sales tax audit. Now, just so you know, ever since I started TaxValet, we've been tracking how many of our clients are under some sort of sales tax audit. And for years, it was about 1% of our clients. And in the past 18 months, we've seen that skyrocket to 4%. Now, I don't want you worried that TaxValet clients get audited more than everyone else. We've actually went and chatted with other sales tax firms to confirm, hey, are you seeing this too? And they said, yeah, we are seeing sales tax audits skyrocket right now. Really, it's because of all of the budget shortfalls post-COVID, and tax revenues, just because of the state of the economy, are overall down. So that results in more sales tax audits. And unless you're doing everything perfectly, you probably don't want to be audited. And even if you are doing everything perfectly, you don't want to be audited either, because it's a huge pain in the butt and nobody likes to be audited. I mean, we're masochists at TaxValet because the only thing we do is sales tax. But even then, we don't like dealing with sales tax audits either. So there are a whole bunch of different ways that your business can trigger an audit. And it's really kind of like a mystery as to what's causing any particular audit. But here are some ways that your business can fall into a sales tax audit that you might not even be aware of, right? I think the most obvious one is that you do not have a sales tax permit when you're supposed to. So if you have nexus in a state, you need to have a permit, begin collecting and remitting. But how is a state going to know that you need one? Well, oftentimes they're using digital tools. They're looking at your website's site rank. And if your site rank is really high compared to others and you don't have a permit, they're going to guess like, you're probably doing, $100 million a year in revenue or $10 million a year in revenue. You probably have crossed the economic nexus threshold. So that's one kind of sneaky way. Though a very common way to fall into a sales tax audit is it just being random. So if you have a permit in your home state, for example, they will just periodically do a random routine audit just to make sure that everything is going well. It doesn't necessarily mean that you did anything wrong or you did anything bad. It just happens. And based on the conversations we're having with auditors, these auditors are expected to have a much larger caseload than normal. It used to be like, 15, 20 audits at a time they're managing. Now it's 30, 35. That is way too many audits for any auditor to be able to do correctly and responsibly. Another way that you can fall into an audit is if you're registered with one department, let's say, for example, for employee withholding, or you submit a contractor report, but you're not registered for sales tax. It's so easy for an auditor to look up and say, show me all the businesses that are registered with the employee withholding department, but they don't have a sales tax permit or they aren't paying use tax. And so I know of a client where he hired an intern 3 years ago, paid him like $300, submitted the contractor report through Gusto. And then 3 years later, he gets audited for not paying sales tax. And it was a lot of money for sales tax, even though he only paid this contractor $300. If he could go back in time, I bet you he would not have paid that intern. Attending trade shows. So if you're exhibiting at a trade show, you should know that certain states will actually send auditors out to these larger trade shows to take names of everyone who's exhibiting, because they know that in their state, exhibiting just 1 or 2 days will create a sales tax responsibility. Digital advertising, we literally have auditors looking up ads, because there are some states, it sounds insane, where it doesn't matter if you have physical presence, doesn't matter if you cross certain economic nexus thresholds, just advertising in their state online is going to create sales tax nexus. There are so many ways that your business can fall into a sales tax audit, and it doesn't even mean that you did anything wrong. You could be doing everything correct. The fact of the matter is sales tax is extremely complex. There's a reason why most accountants don't want to deal with it. There's a reason why there's very few high quality professional services who have it figured out. It's extremely complex. People don't really want to pay for it because it's not exactly generating profit for your business. And it's really, really hard to get right. But at TaxValet, we've created an all-inclusive solution for your business so that you can get compliant and it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. So if you're interested in learning more, finding out how you can protect your business from costly sales tax audits, check us out at thetaxvalet.com. And I hope to hear from you.